All right, welcome back everybody to episode 3 in my series in how to make pop music. So up until this point, we've covered some basics of the Ableton interface, and then we did an intro on audio effects. Today is all about recording audio in MIDI, so that means recording guitar, recording vocals, recording bass and synths. It's going to be super fun. Now, in order to do that, there's one more piece of the interface we need to talk about, and that is preferences. So let's hop into Ableton. Okay, here we are in Ableton, and I'm just going to hit Command, comma to open up preferences. So we're in the audio tab, and this is where all the important stuff happens. First, we have our audio input device, and this is what captures sound coming in. So we can either use our MacBook Pro microphone that's just built into the computer, or we can use an audio interface. Now, audio interfaces convert microphone and instrument signals into a format that our computer recognizes. So we plug our microphones into our interface, we plug our instruments into our interface, and our interface connects to our computer. I use a Claret 8-channel interface made by Scarlett, but if you're a beginner and you're looking to buy an interface, I would highly recommend the Scarlett 2i2. I used this for many years, made lots of great music with it, and it's not going to hold you back in any way. Now, the audio output device captures the audio coming out. That means we can send the audio out of our MacBook Pro speakers, we can plug in headphones and send it out there, or we can send it out through our interface, which will be connected to speakers. Now, my output is directed to Black Hole, but that's just a program that I use so that I can make these videos. Next, we have our sample rate. You can use 44.1 or 48, doesn't really matter. Finally, we have buffer size, which is the delay or latency that we hear during playback. This goes all the way from 32 samples to 2048. Now, higher buffer sizes correlate with more latency, but less CPU usage. So if you have a project with a lot of plugins and all kinds of stuff going on, you might need to use a higher buffer size to avoid glitching. But when we're recording, we want to avoid latency at all costs. When we're singing and we're hearing our voice back delayed, it throws us off. Same thing with recording instruments. So if your CPU can handle it, go with a lower buffer size. Okay, we got the preferences out of the way. Now let's talk about recording audio. And I want to start with guitar. All right, so I got my guitar here. And all we need to do is go to an audio track. And I have my guitar plugged into the second channel on my interface. So I'm going to select 2 here. And then I'm going to click this record button here to arm the track. Now when I play, we hear it. And all we need to do to start recording audio is to go to this record button, hit record, and start playing. And then we pause, and here is our audio track, and we can play it, we can do anything with it. Okay, so I've got my project set to 70 BPM. I'm going to turn on the metronome and record a little guitar part I wrote. Little addendum here. When I was watching back, it looks like I'm delayed and way off the metronome. Not really sure what happened, but I'll get that figured out in the next video. So, yeah. Okay, cool. Now I'm just going to skip through this part, but I'm going to add some audio effects to make this sound a little better. All right, now let's record some vocals, and it's going to be the same as recording guitar, except I'm going to select the first channel because that's where my mic is plugged in. So I'm going to arm it and sing. The sun reminds you everybody loves you with their all. Go now. The sun reminds you. Gonna do some layers now. Every time you give a little mind to it all. Okay, just one more low guy. And every time you give a little mind to it all. Okay, so we have a little pre-chorus section and a chorus section. Now I want to record some Midi bass. So I really like this dual OSC sample and hold bass, but we need to cut a lot of the lows out of it. It's like a really rich sound. So, recording MIDI is very similar. We select this arm track, and then if you have a MIDI keyboard, you can play on it, or you can just use your Mac keys, which I have to do, unfortunately, because my MIDI is not working at the moment. I'm going to go right before the chorus part, hit record, and then I'm just hitting the DSA keys on my keyboard for this bass. Okay, cool. And just like that, we have our MIDI. So now let's do a little synth thing. So I'm going to insert a new MIDI clip, and I'm going to search up the dual OSC buzz octaves bass, and I'm going to just go up a bunch of octaves. Cool. Something like that. Select it, Command D to duplicate. And I'm just going to EQ some of the highs out of here. Cool. Now I'm just going to group our vocals and EQ and compress.
Everybody loves you with their all. Go now. Go now. Go now. Everybody loves you with their all. Go now. Go now. Go now. Go now. Go now. Go now.
Something like that.
Go now. Go now. Go now. Go now. Go now. Go now.
Okay, this is sounding pretty cool. I didn't spend a ton of time trying to get good vocal takes and good guitar takes, but we recorded those audio tracks. We recorded the MIDI bass, and unfortunately, because my MIDI keyboard isn't working, I ended up writing in some of the last parts. But I think it was good to just show you how you can combine recording audio and MIDI tracks and also writing in MIDI to start creating more musical stuff. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this. Sorry for the sad song. It's just kind of the first thing that came to mind. Next week, we're going to get more into melody and chord writing, as well as automating audio effects to create more dynamic stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.